In this video, we'll study about the jump statements in Java. So our first jump statement is break. Break is a keyword which is used to terminate a switch case or a loop. Okay, so if we take an example of break case, here we have this switch case in which we are having two cases, case 1 and case 2. If we put a break inside this case 1, so whenever this case 1 would be executed, that means when the compiler will read this break keyword over here, it will terminate this loop and will come out of it. If we see about one more example inside this for loop, in this for loop, here we have one variable I which is initialized and declared, and it is initialized from 1 and is going till 5 and is incremented by 1 in each iteration. Then inside this we have a if statements in which it checks whether I is equals to 3 or not, and inside this if statement we have a break keyword, and after that we have to print I, and after the for loop we have one more print statement. Okay, now one more thing about break is that it is not used inside a if statement. If we only use break and if, then it will give us an error. But in this case, this break will treat itself as it is being used in this for loop. Okay, so whenever this break will be executed, it will not come out of this if statement. It will actually come out of this for loop. Okay, so we'll execute this code. So I'll copy this code and we'll run this inside this Sublime text editor. So I'll save the code and we'll run it here. Here we have compiled the file jump.java, and we'll run this, that is Java jump. So we got the output as 1, 2 and shake hands with programming, because here you can see we initialized I from 1. So it will initialize I from 1, then it will say yes 1 is less than 5, then it will say no 1 is not equals 3, and then it will print I. Then it would increment I by 1, that is 2, and 2 is again less than 5 and 2 is not equals to 3. So it will again print I, that is it has printed 1 and 2 till now. Then it will increment I by 1, that is 3, and yes 3 is less than 5, and this time 3 is equals to 3. So it will come inside this if statement and will read this break statement, and it will use this break statement to come out of this for loop here. Okay, so when it will come out of this for loop, it will print the statement shake hands with programming, and that's what our output is, that is 1, 2 and shake hands with programming. Suppose if we take one more example, that is this time we would not use for loop, we'll only use if statement and a break, and this will give us an error. Okay, so just suppose here we have a variable int a is equals to 5, then we have the condition inside if that if a is greater than 2, then we need to execute the statement that is to print hello. So here we have system.out.println and hello inside it. Okay, and then we have the break keyword right after it. Here we have this break keyword, and after this we again have one line of print, that is system.out.println, and we have over here bye. Okay, now I'll save the code, and now when we run this, we'll got an error. You can see when I compile it, we get an error that break outside switch or loop. As I already told you in the start of this video, that break is a keyword which is used to terminate a switch or a loop only. So we can't use break outside some switch case or some loop. Here you can see we neither have a switch case nor a loop. We only have one if statement, so we cannot use this break keyword inside this if. So that's it for this video.